There is a place in southern Utah where the wind never seems to rest. It moves through the long, pale grass with a sound like a whisper. People call this place Mountain Meadows. You can feel it when you arrive. A stillness, a heaviness in the air that settles on your shoulders. It is a place of profound and lingering sorrow. A vast open field, a dark memory just beneath the soil. Many people believe it is haunted. They say the land itself remembers what happened here. A story told for generations. A scar upon the landscape. I have been to many locations. I have felt many things. But this place is different. Not just a single event, but deep, emotional energy left behind. Energy that seeps into the earth and becomes part of the place. An energy you can sense. A coldness unrelated to temperature. Standing there alone as the sun begins to set, you feel not truly alone. To understand the energy at Mountain Meadows, you have to understand the history. It is a difficult story. It is a dark chapter. Back in September of 1857, a wagon train of emigrants was making its way to California. They were known as the Baker Fancher Party. They were families, men, women, many children, all looking for a new life out west. They stopped in this grassy valley to rest their livestock, prepare for the next leg of their long and arduous journey across the desert. They believed they were in a safe place, a peaceful meadow, but they were wrong. Tensions were high in the Utah Territory at the time. There was mistrust and fear between the local Mormon settlers and the federal government. This wagon train, passing through at this exact moment, was caught in the middle of it all. A group of local militia Native American allies laid siege to the immigrant camp. For 5 long days, the families in the wagons fought for their lives. They dug trenches and tried to protect themselves from the constant attacks. They were running out of water. They were surrounded and desperate. Then came the final, devastating act of betrayal. The attackers approached the camp under a white flag of truce. They offered the emigrants safe passage if they would surrender their weapons and leave the meadow. The families, exhausted and seeing no other choice, agreed. They were led out of their makeshift fort. The men were separated from the women and children. A signal was given, and then the massacre began. In a matter of minutes, about 120 people were killed. Only the youngest children, those deemed too young to remember, were spared. The bodies were left where they fell, the land soaked in the blood in the terror of that day. It was a brutal, calculated act that left an indelible stain on the history of the West. The site became a shallow, unmarked grave. It took years for the full story to come out, and even longer for the site to be properly memorialized. This is the history that vibrates in the air at Mountain Meadows. It is not just a story in a book. It is a powerful, residual energy. It is the source of the sorrow that you can still feel clinging to the tall grass, the silent stones. The story started not long after the massacre. Travelers passing through the meadow reported strange and unsettling experiences. These were not ghost stories made up for entertainment. These were accounts from people who were genuinely disturbed by what they felt and saw. The most common reports are of disembodied sounds carried on the wind. People say they hear things that do not belong in a quiet, empty field. The faint sound of weeping is a frequent report, a soft, mournful cry that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once, then fades as quickly as it began. Mournful weeping sound. Others have reported hearing voices. These are not clear conversations. They are described as murmurs, like a group of people talking from a great distance. Faint, distant murmurs. You can't make out the words, but you can hear the cadence of speech. Some visitors claim to have heard a woman's voice calling out a name. Distant female voice calling a name. A few have even reported hearing the laughter of children, a chilling sound that suddenly cuts off, leaving an even deeper silence in its place. Brief child laughter abruptly stopping. Investigators often capture unexplained vocalizations on their recordings, known as EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. Visual anomalies are also part of the legend. Strange lights float over the fields at night. They are described as small orbs, sometimes blue or white, drifting just above the ground. They are not car headlights or flashlights. Some say lanterns from the past, others say spiritual energy drawn to the site of tragedy. The journey to Mountain Meadows is part of the experience. The landscape of southern Utah is stark and beautiful. Red rock, high desert plains. As you get closer, the feeling changes. The world gets quieter. The road stretches out, leading to this wide, open valley. It looks peaceful from a distance, but stepping out of your car, the peace feels different. It feels heavy. The peace of a place that has seen too much, now waiting under a vast, lonely sky. Personal stories are what make the haunting so compelling. A local man driving at dusk saw a hazy human shape in the high grass near the monument. He stopped. It slowly turned to look at him, and terror flooded his body. He sped away. A woman paying respects by a stone cairn felt an immense sadness not her own and began to weep. Investigators set audio recorders across the meadow. A low guttural moan appeared in review. Guttural moan, another team used a spirit box. Amid static, a child's voice said, "Help." These pieces of evidence fuel the belief something intelligent still resides in the meadow. Not for thrill seekers or cheap scares. This place demands respect. It is a memorial, a gravesite, a historical landmark. The energy here is raw, it is emotional, it can change you if you let it. Visiting Mountain Meadows requires a mindset of respect. This is first and foremost a memorial and a gravesite. The site is a U.S. National Historic Landmark, and there are rules to follow. The main memorial is off Highway 18, about 30 miles north of St. George, with paved parking and well-maintained paths. Start at the Hilltop Monument, read the plaques and the names. Visit in daylight first. Bring water, dress for weather, wear good walking shoes, and know that cell service can be spotty to non-existent. Tell someone your plans. Stay on paths. Do not climb on cairns. Do not take anything, not even a rock or a flower. Leave only respectful tokens like flowers, small flags, or painted stones. Placed carefully. At night, be even more cautious. Don't go alone. Bring a strong flashlight and extra batteries. Respect private property and wildlife. After a visit with such heavy energy, ground yourself in Cedar City or St. George. In Cedar City, the Main Street Cafe is a local favorite for classic American comfort food. For something historic and quiet, try the restaurant at the Iron Gate Inn. In St. George, the Painted Pony offers upscale contemporary American, while George's Corner Restaurant and Pub is lively and casual. Stay at the Abbey Inn or Best Western Plus in Cedar City. In St. George, the Inn on the Cliff or Hyatt Place. Cabins and vacation rentals abound. Book ahead in spring and fall. If you make the decision to go to Mountain Meadows after dark, you must go with purpose and preparation. This is not a casual outing. Go with a friend or a small group. There is safety and emotional support in numbers. Before you leave your car, take a moment. State your intention out loud. You are here to listen and learn, not to provoke or demand. Move slowly. Let your eyes adjust. In the high desert, starlight is brighter than you think. Use your flashlight sparingly, aimed at the ground. Avoid random sweeping. It feels intrusive. Find a spot on the main path or near a monument. Stand and be still. Close your eyes. Listen past the wind. Listen to the silence between the gusts. You may hear faint murmurs. You may feel a sudden cold. Pay attention to your body heaviness, sadness, a chill. If recording, sit up quietly. Ask simple, respectful questions. Is there anyone here who would like to share their story? What is your name? Can you tell us what happened here? Leave long silences. When it's time to go, say thank you. Leave as quietly and respectfully as you arrived. Leaving at night, the feeling of being watched may intensify. As you pull onto the highway, the meadow recedes in the rear view, but the feeling follows you. You may not see an apparition or capture a Class A EVP. You may experience nothing definitive, but you will feel something. No one walks away from that place unchanged, especially after a visit in the deep quiet of the night. The place asks something of you. It asks you to remember. It asks you to bear witness. Not to a ghost, but to the enduring pain of a human tragedy. The true haunting is not spirits trapped between worlds. It is the powerful, lasting echo of loss. The mystery remains. What are the lights that float above the grass? The souls of the departed. Some natural phenomenon we don't yet understand? What are the voices on the wind? Psychic residue of trauma, or the wind playing tricks on the ear? We search for proof in devices and in data, but maybe the answer is not in the proof. Maybe the answer is in the feeling. That undeniable, gut-wrenching feeling that something happened here and that it has not been forgotten. If you go, go with an open heart. Go with an open mind. Dress warm, bring a light to guide your feet. But more than anything, bring your respect. Stand under the vast, starry sky and listen to the wind in the tall grass. It tells a story. A long ago September day. Trust betrayed. A sorrow so deep it has become part of the land itself. The meadow keeps its watch, it holds its story, and it waits for those who are willing to come and listen in the silence. Thank you for watching Where to Paranormal. Please like, share, and tell us about your experiences.